Good evening everyone, this is Veronica from Living Health and I'm here in Edinburgh with a lovely guest that I've got for you today. Her name is Helen Black and Helen is a teacher and instructor of Gua Sha and facial reflexology, and she is an author to be as well. You are, aren't you? So she is writing a book that will be out next year.
2018.
So next year, so be ready. And you teach all over Europe, don't you? Originally you're from Edinburgh, but you live in Milan, in Italy.
Yeah. So I've been teaching in Edinburgh mainly. I'll be teaching in London from March next year, and I'm in talks with people all over Europe and all over the world.
So tell us, Helen, why Gua Sha and why facial reflexology? What is so special about it, and what kind of modality it is, and what principles does it work with?
Oh gosh, where to start? Okay, I think most people, when they think of the face, of facial manipulation and going for a facial, they're going to have their face touched, they're thinking of beauty experts and skin issues, and maybe they're thinking of needling, and maybe they're thinking of special topical treatments and machinery. But my whole approach is very different. I actually didn't come to this work as someone interested in beauty at all. I came to it looking for something that would empower people. And so facial reflexology is a very powerful natural therapy that can be used by anyone at any time, and it's free at the point of access, because all you need to do it are a couple of fingertips. You don't
or your
need
knuckles,
both hands,
probably.
or knuckles, or the end of a pen. It's something you can take anywhere with you, and although it's a beautiful treatment, as you know, lasting half an hour to 60 minutes, it's really something that becomes a tool that brings you back to yourself in terms of self-care and self-knowing and self-agency, as I put it as well. And facial Gua Sha was something I found after that. I actually worked first of all with Gua Sha on the body.
What is Gua Sha for someone who may not know the term?
So Gua Sha originally comes from China. It's been used for thousands of years by particularly the peasant population as a means to ease muscle tension or any kind of pain in the body. So Gua Sha is the name of a tool that I use. It's also the name of the technique, because Gua means to scrape and Sha means redness. So it's the toxins and the blockages make their way out of the body to the skin, and it turns red. So that's the Sha.
I've looked on PubMed as well for some research and some studies done on Gua Sha specifically, and I know of that. I know of the benefits, but I just thought I want to check whether actually someone has done any research. And there has been research done, and it's very interesting because a lot of it is anecdotal, but the truth is Gua Sha is really helpful for improving circulation. So anywhere, not just on the face, which we'll talk about a bit more, but anywhere on the body, it really is beneficial to getting the blood flowing and allowing it to go where it needs to go.
In fact, I was doing some Gua Sha last night on my stepmother's back. She's had a knot at the bottom of her back for probably about 4 years. And you know, in the West, we're so scared to touch these things. We kind of think, oh, there's a knobble there and it's getting bigger, and I just won't go anywhere near it. Really, the ancients and the Chinese in particular had this sense that if you have a blockage, any sort of something out of the ordinary in the body, it's best to get in there and to stimulate the circulation of blood, lymph, other vital fluids and energy to that point to keep things moving and to help it move on. So of course, after one session on the dining table with the Gua Sha, I actually already felt an improvement after all those years just living with it.
That's fantastic. And how does Gua Sha apply on the face? Could you show some tools? And could you show also some tools? You have something here for the reflexology treatment?
Yes. Okay, so they're really used quite separately, but the Gua Sha tools that I love and I'm able to share with people are these ones. They're the perfect size for self-treatment, and they're made of crystal, and I'm a stone lover, and there's this sort of just brings a vibrational aspect to your treatment, but you can really use anything. The ancient Chinese women working on the face would use a porcelain spoon or the lid of a jar. You can use your hands for facial massage as well.
And I've attended one of your workshops that you ran last week, and I absolutely loved it. And I've been using the tool at home whilst watching a movie or just relaxing in the evening. It's beautiful and it's very warming as well. You can warm it with hot water, warm it up, but also as you touch the skin and as you do the moves, it really warms up. So it's very, very pleasant and very relaxing. So I would highly recommend.
And that's why I love the stones as well. They have this extra property that just makes it, it's just a lovely texture if you have oil on the skin as well. And so unlike facial gua sha you'll find on YouTube, a lot of people kind of scraping their faces like crazy, possibly with crystal tools, sometimes with other things. That's very different to the way
what's your approach?
Yes,
and why?
Basically, because I'm coming from the perspective of facial reflexology, of working with the nervous system, to me, the most important thing if you come for treatment or if you're looking after yourself is that you calm down, that you have some space and a container in which to rest and to enter, the parasympathetic mode of rest, digest and relaxation, because that's the primary thing that we're all in need of. And after that we can move on to a discussion of, with Gua Sha, we're trying to work with the muscles of the face. And by doing so lightly and slowly, we're also influencing the circulation of lymph. So it can really help with any kind of puffiness, any kind of abnormal pigmentation, but it also improves elasticity and the appearance of fine lines. And if you have anything like chronic acne or eczema on the face, this tool alone can make all kinds of difference.
Fantastic. And what about reflexology? Tell us a little bit more about the facial reflexology. What it is, right? What kind of system do you use, or what kind of system you were taught, and why were you so impressed with it?
Oh gosh, it's such a long story. But to put it briefly, I was at one point an economics graduate, and I considered myself quite a serious person. I certainly wasn't the kind, let's say, to go looking for an alternative therapy to incorporate into my life.
So the facts and figures.
Facts and figures, always. I really found it by following my heart, and long story short, I wound up in Italy after spending some time in Spain and got taken to a 2-day class on facial reflexology. Mostly to keep my boyfriend happy. And I sat down and I was given a tool that looks like this. If you can see that there. You've seen this one already. And I just followed the instructions, not really understanding all of the language, but just sort of doing what I was told. And after the 2 days, I was given instructions to go and work on myself. I actually had gluten intolerance at the time. And reluctantly, because I wasn't really keen on incorporating gluten back into my life, I'd done so well without it, I couldn't see why I should.
Although it may be a little bit difficult in Italy.
It was difficult in Italy.
Surrounded by bread and surrounded by pasta and wheat.
The gluten-free train had not hit, so it was especially difficult. And so reluctantly, I kind of gave this thing a go. And within 1 month, because it had been a digestive issue for me with the intolerance, I saw massive improvement. And I really thought it was in my head. I didn't even at that point believe that this could be anything to do with the tool on my face or my fingers on my face, which is what I was using. And then I began offering treatments to my family and friends just for relaxation, and the results I had with them were so awakening and so enlightening that I thought, okay, what is this I have in my hands? And that's when I went back to study more for 4 months. And that's when I finally Googled facial reflexology in English and realised there is nothing like this style, which I practice, which is called Dane Chan Zone, which originally comes from Vietnam and has been developed in Italy for the last 20 years by my beautiful teachers. And it's really become a tool for self-care and also a really beautiful treatment suitable to Westerners, which is so important.
And it on its own, even the original system that comes from Vietnam, how long has it been in existence? Because it must have been thousands of years, right?
Well, okay, so that's a difficult way to put it, because the story we tell with the facial reflexology is that really it's the newest reflexology on the planet. That it was only investigated in modern times after the Vietnamese War,
Okay.
as a result of necessity.
Mhm.
But really the story is much longer, because for thousands of years, as a legacy of the traditional Vietnamese medicine, which some people will tell you outdates Chinese medicine, at least they're very closely linked. There's a legacy in Vietnam of facial massage for wellness. And so for hundreds, probably thousands of years, people, the masses in Vietnam have been massaging their faces every day. Now, some of the logic as to what they're doing has been lost, but if you go to Vietnam today, you'll still see them. When I say massage, I mean rubbing their faces till they turn burgundy, especially in airports. You see them preparing their sinuses by rubbing their noses, for example. And so it's just really a part of life, it's a part of their culture there. And it was investigated by a group of acupuncturists. All of these ancient maps were investigated only at the end of the 1970s.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I would definitely recommend giving it a try. I had a treatment from you and I absolutely loved it. So anyone who is keen, who is around in Edinburgh or in Milan, or who would like to know more about it, you can go to Helen's page, www.helen.black.
Yeah.
That's it. No, nothing after that. And you have some free tools available there for people to download.
Yes, I have a free book which is written text explaining some basic passages, some basic massages, and some basic points that we use for first aid as well. Yeah, and once you're on the list, there will be videos coming soon.
Fantastic. And also you are running courses in Italy as well as in Edinburgh. When is the next time you're around in Scotland?
So my next courses coming up are in February, March next year, in Milan, in Edinburgh, and in London. And the workshop that I run on Gua Sha, which is a great way to introduce.
That's different.
Yes, so sorry, the courses are 2 days, basic course in facial reflexology. You learn the whole of the basic method to take away and work on yourself and your loved ones, as well as, if you're a practitioner, members of the public. It's very intense, it's very complete, and it really gives you the tools straight away, so that you can go and practice and learn by doing.
Wonderful. And then the workshop, that's different, right? That's
and the Gua Sha
a couple of hours.
Workshop, is really a focus on this tool to use on yourself, and introduce you to facial reflexology, which I hope you'll add in to this beautifying massage that you might want to take on daily. So
wonderful.
And I'm doing them in the same places and probably some different places as well.
Okay. And is that something that people can find on your website as well when they come?
Yes.
And you also have a Facebook page, right?
Yeah, if you sign up for updates on my website, I'll send out a message every time something else is planned, and if you're on Facebook, my events there are all listed.
Fantastic. Well, I think Helen and I, and myself as well, would love to see you at the next workshop, or would love to see you looking into this, if this resonates, maybe downloading her resources and trying it for yourself. And there's nothing bad or nothing wrong with trying, right? So unless you try, you can't really judge. So please do. Thank you for watching, and until next time. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you, Veronica. Ciao.